Hello folks, Jeff Giles here from Toronto, Ontario, and for this week's lesson I'm going to be showing you 3 ways of riding the fader in Reaper. And to do that I'm going to be using a section of a new song that I've just done a very rough demo of. I've got a rhythm guitar, a vocal track, and a lead guitar, and I'll show you a different method for each of those tracks, just a small section of each. So first we're going to ride the fader manually. I'm going to go to my rhythm guitar track. Over on the left side of the track window here we've got our envelope automation display options, as well as our automation mode. If you're not familiar with the different automation modes, I suggest you go back to week 3's videos on automation and DAW and learn about them this way. So I'm going to highlight my automation mode, which is set for trim right now. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select touch. You can see that the fader has appeared as yellow. Now if I play the track and move the fader, it will follow my movements and record them as an automation. So there's the first way. Now if I right click again and go down to read, and if I replay that section, you can see the fader has turned green. If I replay that section, the fader will move along with the automation. Now you can also see after I started to move the fader around and record the automation, you can see that a new item popped up in my edit window and on my track window. This is the volume envelope, and it's a display that shows how the volume is changing over time. You can see the little points in the graph that got plotted out as I was moving my fader. So that's the first way. The second way is we're going to actually manipulate the volume envelope itself on the vocal track. So I'm going to left click on my track envelopes and I'm going to select volume. You can see that the box to the right of that, visible, has been selected. And now if I go back to my main window, you can see that I now have a volume envelope for my vocal track. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my cursor over the volume envelope. I'm going to right click and select create new point. I'm going to do that a few times, and now I can click and drag these points and draw different lines to change the volume the way that I want. And the angle of the lines will determine how quickly or slowly the volume is going to change. So I'm just going to draw a little arc here over a quiet part of the vocal track, and I'm going to select read once again. And now if I play this back, you can see that these faders will follow the automation as well. So they've just gone up a little bit, and now they're going to go back down. So there's the second way. Third way is similar to that. Once again, I'm going to bring up my volume envelope. Now for my lead guitar track, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And another thing I can do is draw freehand. So if I move my cursor over top of the volume envelope and hold down the command key on my Mac keyboard, you can see that the freehand draw icon cursor has come up. So now I can just left click and drag along with my trackpad or mouse, depending on what you have, and I can draw a new envelope that way. And then if I go back down, if I go to read and play this section, you can see that these faders will now move in conjunction with the envelope that I've drawn. And they're going to dip again and come back up. So that is 3 ways of riding the fader in Reaper. I'm looking forward to your constructive comments, folks, so that I can improve for next time, and hope everybody's been having a great week.